So there's this excellent tool called mobileroad.org, which allows you to find out the route position of a location on a road. If I hit return to this, you can see how it loads up. It goes through a process where you can select the areas that you're interested in looking. In this instance, I've got all the state highways and I've got Gore District because that meets my example. If I hit start, that will load up all the lines for those areas. So that I can interrogate and use them. And you can see that if I hover close to a road, it will tell me where I am on the top left there in relation to the road. That's essentially the interrogation tool. Very good. It also has this pretty cool batch conversion tool, which I'm going to show you for converting from any latitude or longitude information that's embedded in the file to RP, which can be very, very useful. So let me show you. I have this folder with three images in it. These images, if I check the properties, you will see that they have, check the details, they should have some latitude and longitude information embedded in them in the Exif data. If you have location services turned on your phone and you enable it, the camera will actually record location data, which is very useful. In fact, kind of imperative that we carry on doing that kind of stuff because it's really good to find out where the photographs were taken. What you can also do is if you open up in Windows Photo Viewer and you check file information, it will actually give you a pin in a map for each photograph that's got the location data embedded. So that's me just checking I have it. Any photographs that don't have location data embedded in them, move them to a different folder because this system will probably get confused. So what I will do first is we will go to BR's Exif extractor to get the Exif data out that we want. So I've entered the folder to scan, which is just the address that's up here, and I've pasted it in here. And then I'm outputting it to a .csv. I'm selecting which data I want from the Exif data. In this instance, I only want GPS latitude and longitude, and I'm going to give them a column heading just so that it's clear what I'm doing. Pretty straightforward. Hit the extract button, and it says it's done it. So if I open up that Exif here, let me see. Yes. So I've got a nice simple file name, GPS latitude, GPS longitude. Now for the converter, you can see what I want to use is WGS84. That's the standard. And what it wants is it wants a comma separator between latitude and longitude. I'm not interested in knowing the side of the road or the road ID. I don't think I am. But I will be pasting the data from here into there. Now it doesn't have a comma, so I'm going to insert a row, put a comma in, and I'm going to copy that comma all the way down. He said, did that work? Comma. There we go. Copy it all the way down, and then copy the data. Nice and straightforward. Copy and paste into here, and hit convert. Now you can see that it's given me the road ID and the station, or if it's a state highway, it's given me the state highway and the route station and the route position. I'm going to copy that and just put it back into that spreadsheet for safekeeping. Okay, that's nice and straightforward. So next thing I will do is I will open up Peter's little batch file name conversion tool, which is super useful. What this does is it looks at the existing file name. What we're going to be doing is changing the old file name to a new file name. We know the lat and the long, and we know the route position. So what Pete's thing does is it gets rid of the backslash and it pads out the chainage of what the route position to make sure that it's all 5 digits long. If there are two photographs taken at the exact same location, it will add an inversion after it, and then it recombines all of these into a single number. So I'm going to take this information here. I'm going to paste it into there. And we can see, hopefully, yep. What I want to do then is make sure that I've got that same data on every single row. And now I've got a new file, which is a list of new file numbers. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to open a notepad, and I'm going to paste that. Sorry for the boring. File, save as, and I want to save that to the same messing folder location. We'll just call that list.txt. Okay, so that's we've got the data now, pretty much in the fashion that we want. So if I go to the advanced renaming tool and I add some files, and I want to add them from that directory where we just were, those. So that's the files coming in. You can see it at the moment, its new file name is exactly the same as the last. What I want to do is I want to rename them as a batch from a list. And I'm going to load that list. Make sure it's from the same location that I've just been working. List.txt. Okay. And now it says, okay, it's going to try and rename them all to this new path. Oh, I wonder why it's got .jpeg on the end there. But what I can also do is I can remove the last 4 digits. Okay. So that's new file name from old file name, start batch. Start. Done. So over here you can see it's now renamed those 3, it could have been 300 or 3000, it would have done it very quickly, into the new position number, which is much more useful from a filing location to be able to order them in terms of position. And that's pretty much the solution. Yeah. As an aside, I did find out recently that if I open up Google Earth, this might take a second. It takes a little while because I have an awful lot of files on the left-hand side of Google Earth. But this is quite useful. Sometimes people want to see all of their photographs as a location on a map. So let me see if I can do this. So we've zoomed in. If I now go back to that messing file, yeah, I think it's just the Exif. It's the first Exif that we created. I can drag that onto Google Earth, and it says, okay, you've got this data, and I can bring it in, and I want my latitude to be GPS latitude. I want my longitude to be GPS longitude. And I think if I hit finish, then it'll say, do you want to apply a template? I say yes, and I'd like the name of each thing to be its file name. Okay. Obviously, I could do that with a different set of data, but here we go. I'm not too bothered about saving that, but it'll zoom in, and I should, if I enable the checkbox over here, get pins on a map. So that was the first hover point, that was the next hover point, and that was the next hover point. So that can be kind of useful. Some people want to have a map view of where they are, and you can go to the location of each set. Obviously, that could be a lot more useful if you have hundreds of locations as well. Okay, so that was me just messing around with changing location data using the mobile conversion tool. Hope that was useful. Cheers. Bye.